When we talk about the bed, we are not just talking about a piece of furniture where you lie down at night. The bed is one of the most personal spaces in your entire life. Think about it for a moment. You spend nearly a third of your life on that very spot. It is where your body rests after a long day, where your mind unwinds, and where your spirit regains strength for tomorrow. It is where healing takes place in the quiet hours of the night, when you are not even aware of it. This is why across cultures and generations, the bed has always been regarded as sacred. It is not simply a cushion, a blanket, and some pillows. It is a place of renewal, a place of life itself. Now, if this space is so sacred, what do you think happens when we begin to misuse it? When we treat it as though it were any other surface, dumping things that do not belong there, we dishonor its purpose. You see, what you place on your bed carries meaning. It can either invite peace, health, and blessing, or it can attract poverty, sickness, and confusion. That is why the ancients were very careful about what touched their resting place. They understood something modern society often ignores, that the physical and the spiritual are always connected. Imagine this: after a hard day, you carry your bag and drop it on the bed without thinking. That bag has touched the streets, the bus, the office, countless hands and surfaces you do not even know about. Along with the physical dirt it carries, it also represents the burdens of your daily struggles, stress, worries, financial anxieties. When you place it on the bed, you are not just laying down a bag, you are laying down an energy that contaminates your resting place. And then you wonder why you wake up tired, why sickness keeps circling your family, why peace feels so far away. The bed must remain a symbol of purity, of rest, of health. It is not a storage space, it is not a table, it is not a chair. It is where you and your household find renewal. If you respect that, if you guard that space carefully, you will find that your sleep becomes deeper, your mind becomes clearer, and your energy for the day multiplies. If you neglect it, you open a door for the very things you are trying to avoid: lack, illness, and endless struggle. So I tell you today, never forget the power of your bed, because how you treat it will determine what you invite into your life. When we think about what brings sickness into a home, most of us imagine big things: spoiled food, polluted air, or contaminated water. But very often, the little habits we overlook carry the greatest danger. One of those habits is the way we treat our bed. The bed is supposed to be a sanctuary, a clean space where the body can rest and recover. Yet too many times, without realizing it, we turn it into a dumping ground for things that should never come near it. Consider your shoes. They have walked through streets full of dust, dirt, and bacteria you cannot even see. Now imagine placing them on your bed. What you are doing is transferring all those invisible germs straight into the very space where you breathe deeply for hours every night. The same thing happens with clothes we wear outside. They brush against countless surfaces, they absorb sweat and pollutants from the air, and yet many people casually throw them on the bed as if it does not matter. But it does matter, because all those germs cling to the sheets, and when your body touches that space, they find a way to weaken your health little by little. Even objects we often regard as harmless, like handbags, backpacks, or even grocery bags, carry more than we think. They rest on public benches, shopping carts, bus floors, and office desks, collecting residue from places we would never dare put our face or hands directly: death. But when we drop them on the bed, we allow all of that to merge with the place where our immune system is supposed to recharge. We unknowingly invite sickness into our lives, not because of some mysterious force, but because of simple neglect. Now, sickness does not always come immediately. Sometimes it builds up quietly, making us more prone to headaches, allergies, or fatigue. And then when the body finally breaks down, we ask, why am I always unwell? Why do I never feel strong? The answer is often in our daily habits. A bed filled with germs cannot give you the healing rest your body desperately needs. It becomes a battlefield instead of a place of peace. That is why I urge you to treat your bed as untouchable when it comes to unclean things. Guard it like you would guard your health, because in reality, that is exactly what you are doing. If you want strength, if you want long life, if you want your body to carry you with vitality, then keep your bed clean and pure. Never forget, a careless habit can open the door to sickness, but a wise habit can keep that door forever closed. There is something many people do without even thinking about it, and yet it has a direct connection to the flow of money in their lives. I am talking about placing your wallet, your handbag, or your purse on the bed. To some it may sound harmless, just a matter of convenience, but in reality it carries a deeper meaning than we realize. You see, money is not just paper or coins. It carries energy, it carries intention. It carries the symbol of your labor and your future. Where you put it matters, because it reveals how you value it and what atmosphere you surround it with. When you place your wallet or bag on the bed, you are unconsciously mixing two very different worlds. The bed is a place of rest, healing, and renewal. It is meant for your body and soul to recharge. Money, on the other hand, represents work, responsibility, and the challenges of daily life. When the two collide, something is lost. Spiritually, it is believed that placing money, or the things that hold it on your bed, can drain blessings, as if you are allowing your financial energy to slip away carelessly. It sends a message to the unseen realm that you are not guarding your resources with respect. Think for a moment about your bag. Where has it been? It has been placed on bus floors, on office desks, on the ground, in public places where countless energies and germs attach themselves. And yet, many people bring that very bag and drop it on the bed without a thought. Not only does it physically contaminate the space, but symbolically it contaminates the energy of your rest with worry, debt, and financial stress. Is it any wonder then that some people constantly find themselves struggling, as though money comes in but never stays? Your attitude toward money is reflected in the small things. If you treat it with care, if you give it a place of honor and order, it will respond with stability in your life. If you treat it carelessly, dropping it wherever feels convenient, it reflects a mindset of waste and disorder, and soon enough you will see that same disorder in your finances. Remember, poverty does not always begin with a lack of money. Often it begins with a lack of respect for money. So I say to you, never place your wallet, your bag, or your purse on the bed. Keep the bed for rest and healing, and keep your money in a place of respect. Because if you honor what you have, more will be entrusted to you. There is a powerful truth many people overlook. The environment you create around you reflects the condition of your inner life. When your surroundings are cluttered, messy, or neglected, it is often a sign of the same disorganization happening within the mind and spirit. And nowhere is this more evident than in the way you treat your bed. The bed is not just for sleeping, it mirrors your attitude toward order, toward respect, and even toward abundance. When people pile up clothes, scatter books, throw bags, or leave random objects lying on the bed, they are sending a message to themselves without even realizing it. That message is, I accept disorder, I tolerate chaos, I am comfortable with confusion. And what you accept in your private space eventually shows up in your public life. A bed covered in clutter is not just untidy, it is symbolic of a poverty mindset where there is no discipline, no structure, and no sense of value for the things you already have. Think about it. Poverty is not always the absence of money. Sometimes it begins with the absence of order. A person may earn well, but if their mind is scattered and their habits are careless, the money slips through their fingers like water. Disorder in the bedroom leads to disorder in the wallet, because the same spirit that governs how you handle your space will govern how you handle your resources. If you do not guard the place where you rest, how will you guard the blessings that come into your hands? On the other hand, when you keep your bed clean, clear, and uncluttered, you are not just practicing good hygiene, you are training your mind to value peace, discipline, and clarity. You are saying to yourself and to the world, I am prepared for abundance. I am ready for more. A bed that is respected becomes a symbol of a life that is respected. It creates an atmosphere of order, and where there is order, prosperity is drawn. That is why it is dangerous to treat your bed carelessly. Clutter does not just crowd your space, it crowds your spirit. And a crowded spirit cannot receive new ideas, new blessings, or new opportunities. The energy of abundance needs space to flow. If you want your life to grow, start by clearing the very space where you rest. Never forget, when you honor your bed with order, you invite prosperity, but when you cover it with clutter, you attract poverty without even knowing it. One of the greatest mistakes we can make is to treat the bed like any other piece of furniture in the house. The truth is, the bed is different. It is a sacred space. It is where you lay down your body after the struggles of the day, where your mind finds rest from the storms of life, and where your soul is renewed in the silence of the night. That is why the energy you allow on your bed matters so much. If it is filled with distractions, burdens, or dirt from the outside world, your rest will be shallow and your strength will be weak. But if it is guarded, kept pure, and reserved only for rest, intimacy, and renewal, it becomes a wellspring of health and vitality. Too often we underestimate the spiritual atmosphere of a bed. We think it is just about comfort, just about sheets and pillows. But I tell you, the bed carries energy. When you bring the worries of the day, your work papers, your bags, your gadgets, and drop them on the bed, you are letting the noise of the world invade your place of peace. No wonder so many people sleep, but never feel rested. They close their eyes, but their spirit never calms down, because their bed has become a place of burdens instead of blessing. You must learn to guard the atmosphere of your bed. When you approach it, you should feel peace rising in you. It should signal to your body and spirit that this is a place of healing. That is why you must keep it clean, uncluttered, and respected. If the bed is honored, it becomes a sanctuary where your body recovers, where your immune system strengthens, and where your spirit finds the courage to face tomorrow. But if it is dishonored, it loses its power to restore you, and you will always wake up feeling like something is missing. Think about it carefully. A sacred space produces sacred results. If you treat the bed with reverence, you will notice the difference, not only in the quality of your sleep, but also in the clarity of your thoughts, the strength of your body, and the calmness of your emotions. Life becomes easier to handle when the place of rest is pure. So I say to you today, guard your bed, protect its atmosphere, and let nothing that carries the burdens of the outside world pollute it. Because when your bed is a place of peace, your life becomes a place of strength. It is not enough to know what not to do with your bed. You must also know what to do to attract health, peace, and abundance into your life. Many people fail because they only avoid the obvious mistakes, but never put in place the practices that open the door to blessing. Your bed, your bedroom, and even the atmosphere of your home can become a magnet for good things if you choose to handle them with wisdom and discipline. Start with the simple act of order. Decide that your bed will never be the landing ground for clutter, bags, or outside clothes. Create a designated place for those things, no matter how small your room may be. By doing this, you train your mind to separate what belongs to the outside world from what belongs to your inner sanctuary. The bed must remain a space for rest, intimacy, and renewal only. That small habit alone will begin to shift the atmosphere of your life. Next, keep your space clean. A fresh bed is not only pleasant to the eye, but also to the spirit. When you lie down on clean sheets, your mind receives a signal of peace, and your body relaxes into deeper rest. Change your sheets regularly, open your windows to let light and air flow, and you will notice how your energy begins to rise. Health is not only about medicine, it is also about the environment you choose to create. Another step is to cultivate gratitude. Before you go to bed, take a moment to reflect on what you are thankful for. Speak blessing over your home, over your health, and over your future. This practice transforms your bed into a place of prayer and expectation, not just sleep. Gratitude releases abundance, and when you fill your resting place with that energy, it shapes the atmosphere of your life. Lastly, learn to approach your bed with respect. Do not treat it as ordinary. Do not jump on it with careless energy or throw things on it as if it is just another piece of furniture. Let it remain a symbol of your honor for yourself, for your family, and for the life you are building. When you show respect to your personal spaces, you are in fact showing respect to your destiny. So, I remind you today, if you want abundance and health to follow you, begin with the simple steps of protecting and honoring your bed, because how you treat it will determine what you invite into your life.